and you know how it goes.
Oh, you're a good guy and a good dad, Phil. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You guys have a great holidays.
Have a good game.
All right.
16's Leon. Coming up next hour, in case you missed Pat Buchanan earlier this morning, he was good. In case you missed the Cardinal, he was great. In case you missed Dr. Phil's official comments, he was great. And Wilford Brimley will be here with a special way to stuff that turkey. Kill that bird flu, baby. Kill that bird flu now.
Will be about 15, and the Lincoln Tunnel looks to be a 10-minute wait. The Imus in the morning forecast, cloudy skies, highs of about 39 degrees for today, currently 28 degrees in Central Park. I'm Amy Salerno for the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
10 minutes to the hour here on the Imus in the morning program on the radio around the country and on MSNBC all over the world. Please welcome now to the Imus in the morning program, sponsored by the Tri-State Jeep dealer, my brother, Fred Imus, from Tucson, Arizona. Good morning, Fred.
Hey, man, how's it going with I-Man?
Well, it's going pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I need to get directions to Chuck's house.
You know, I can just email those to you, Freddie. Be happy to.
Well, can I bring my dog?
Of course. Certainly. We got dogs there, absolutely.
Well, that's the problem. So you don't like other dogs?
We have to keep them separated?
This is the attack dog.
Would you like to board your dogs?
Yeah.
I mean, or are they like Wyatt says, they just aren't good enough to show anymore?
No, they're good enough, but we can't go to.
Why don't you show them then if they're
good enough?
Well,
why aren't they in the dog show?
I mean, you don't have time.
No. There's a new puppy who's going to be going out on the circuit rather soon.
No, but why aren't they?
When my dog gets done with him, he ain't going anywhere. He's going to the backyard in a 6-foot hole.
Well, we'll keep him separated.
Does
Wyatt know the F word? Where's Wyatt?
Oh, of course he does. Does he know the F word?
He employed that too. He just beeped it.
By the way, he learned that from his mother.
He thought for the last 7 years that Don's name was A-hole, because that's what Peter calls him.
Who's really nice people, Fred?
Oh.
Nicole and, what's Don's last name, Collier?
Don Collier.
That old cowboy actor?
Right.
Well, they are really nice people.
They don't come any better than those two, by the way.
Nicole is a woman my brother works with on the radio in Tucson, and Don is the old cowboy actor, starred in High Chaparral, and he's in every Western movie you've ever seen.
Yeah. They don't come any better than those two.
Yeah, it really is. It's also really nice what you and Phyllis do, I thought.
Oh, well, thanks.
So, anyway. Well, what else is new?
Well, nothing actually new.
Yeah.
I don't think. You never know.
What's going on there in Tucson? What's going on at the station?
I don't know, actually.
Right.
I wouldn't, if I was Westwood One, I'd make sure they collect their money.
Well, what do you mean?
I just would make sure that they get their money,
Your checks aren't bouncing, are they?
No. They did a lot bigger one,
That'd probably be a mistake, wouldn't it?
Oh, boy.
Well, what are your, Chris has his Fat Boy Lock of the Week. What are those, Chris?
Fat Boy Locks of the Week are pretty simple this week. The Broncos will beat the Cowboys tomorrow. The Lions will beat the Falcons tomorrow.
I can't disagree with those.
You disagree?
No, I can't.
You can't. All right, you're on top of it as usual, Fred.
I mean, I can't say the Broncos going to Dallas and losing.
Well, you're both wrong.
Right? Okay, then I'm taking the Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, they're actually doing pretty good. I haven't watched one pro game this year.
Huh?
I completely lost interest in pro football. Isn't that kind
Why?
of weird?
Well, a little bit, yeah.
I mean, I've always been a Southern California fan, the Trojans, so I watch their games.
Yeah.
And I think they play UCLA this weekend.
They're off this
Oh,
week.
no,
They're
they
playing
play them
next week.
December 3rd, I'm sorry.
Right, next
Right.
week.
Have that big Arizona State game this weekend.
Who's going to win that?
I forgot, I don't know, they're both awful.
They are?
Oh, well, pretty much, yeah.
Well, I thought Arizona State was ranked for a while.
They were until a lot of their good players are in jail.
Right.
So that's kind of what happened. And they have a problem with the coach. He can't control the team and he can't coach. And those are two bad things for a coach to put on his resume.
Well, I'm sorry.
He'll be back in Boise State before the year's up.
Didn't Arizona beat UCLA?
Yeah, they did. But and Arizona is going to be a good team here in the next year or two.
Right.
They're a real young team, and of course they got a new coach and stuff. But they are going to be a good team. Yes, they did, and they beat them with a freshman quarterback.
Well, I think we got to go with the Wildcats then, Fred.
I think we do too, and it'd just be so great for them to beat Arizona State
Yeah.
to get 2 years in a row. They beat them last year. Arizona did.
Well, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Well,
Fred.
you too, and sorry I don't have any material, but why
That's
change
all right.
after 17 years? I mean, why start to come up with stuff today,
All right.
Hey, Fred, on your way up, could you stop pick up Howard and Robin?
I love you, Fred. We'll talk
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Coming up on 4 till the hour. Let this be your family's best fall ever with the affordable new Nikon D50, the D50. 5 minutes after the hour. Maybe you could use it for the employees to find a job. Just had a commercial for OnStar from GM. So I realize you people around the country did not hear that.
Yeah.
The Tassimo coffee machine hot beverage system this morning goes to WFAN-Imus, who is the best guest.
Guest of the day.
Yeah. And Wyatt is going to donate it to the Imus Cattle Ranch for Kids with Cancer, where we all are. So, and when the kids come out this spring, this summer, they won't be allowed to touch it, frankly. We might make them some hot chocolate, something like that. So, send one to Wyatt. Send it to the ranch, Bernie.
Right.
Okay. Here's what's coming up this hour. Cardinal Egan will be in. He's got some words of inspiration.
Sure. Compassion.
And Wilford Brimley with some timely holiday tips on how to stuff that turkey to, in effect, save your life.
Yeah.
Then Dr. Phil will be in to talk about family gatherings at Thanksgiving. And Montgomery Gentry will be in to sing the great Robert Earl Kane Christmas song. Whatever it's called. What is it called, Lou?
I didn't hear you. I'm editing.
The family?
Yeah, the family.
Merry Christmas from the family.
Merry Christmas from the family, Montgomery Gentry. So that and Dwight Yoakam's Santa Can't Stay and George Jones' A Lonely Christmas are the three all-time great country, or just great Christmas songs.
And that explains a lot about you, and what
Yeah.
you think is holiday-worthy.
Right.
Now it captures the holiday
Sure.
spirit.
Well, I like old Nat Cole, too, and the Chestnuts.
A
And
couple of families fighting and throwing stuff at each other.
I like the Beatles, Happy Christmas.
One who's going to
John
kill
Lennon.
himself, a George Jones Kill Yourself Christmas.
Right. Well,
No surprise here.
oh, whatever.
And you want to go to Thanksgiving.
Yes, I did. But I guess I'm not going to get to go.
This is so much fun. He's here. This is great.
Here's a good one that fits your overall picture, I-Man. A police lieutenant who once oversaw a domestic violence unit on Staten Island, facing charges that he threatened to kill his wife after they argued over his birthday cake. Guy charged with menacing and possessing a weapon after having overseen a domestic violence unit getting in a fight with a wife over a birthday cake.
That's a classic case of bringing the office home with you, Jack.
Wait a minute. The DA says Doyle got angry that his wife didn't get an ice cream cake. Got him a cake? Oh, damn it. What's this? Wanted an ice cream cake. I'll kill you.
You know why she's got two black eyes?
Oh, my God.
Because he explained it to her twice.
Well, you're a fat stooge
That's
criminal.
not good. That is not good.
And that's not funny, Dr. Phil. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not the one who beat up on the wife because of the ice cream cake.
That's awful. Holy
You're a
cow.
horrible human being.
That's a lovely family.
How was it cute, Lou?
I know. I'm editing. I'm sorry. What are we? Okay.
Please welcome now to the Imus of the Morning program on this Thanksgiving Eve over from the Archdiocese in Manhattan.
Where's me tea?
Cardinal Egan. Good morning, Cardinal Egan.
Good morning, God bless. McCord,
Yes, sir.
listen up, you possum-sucking dummy, you be Jesus.
Very well.
Let the following serve as my RSVP to your stupid Thanksgiving soiree. Myself and the Monsignors will be arriving at the house at 2 p.m. promptly.
Very well, sir.
Do you understand me, McCord?
Yes, I do.
As instructed, we'll be looking for the plantation-style home with the black lawn jockeys out front and the ropes hanging from the trees. And if we see any colored folk, we'll know we're in the wrong neighborhood, you buck-toothed bigot, you be Jesus. I'll be dusting off and bringing over an old case of blue nun, McCord, and a bag of nuts. Be sure to tell Mrs. McCord she can munch on me nuts again this year as well, be Jesus. I'll be saying grace at 4:30 p.m. sharp.
Yes.
And if any non-Christians present don't like it, they can kiss me ass, be Jesus. So I'm not anticipating that problem over at Shea McCord, be Jesus. We'll drink some Baileys at 6:30 p.m., watch the bells of St. Mary's at 7, and at 9 p.m., we'll go around to cemeteries and kick down some Jewish tombstones, be Jesus. And after 10 p.m., the rest of you can go F yourself, be Jesus, God willing.
All right, sir.
You have all that, McCord?
Yes, I do, Your
Good. Now you can put the I-man's yam bag back in your mouth or whatever the hell it is you were doing before we started this, you poo-flicking loser, you be Jesus. And enough, Mr. Moore. Enough with the stupid jokes about stuffing the turkey. Ha-ha. I think the I-man means having sex with the dead bird. Ha-ha. I'll tell you what's amusing, Mr. Moore. The notion that the hot Mrs. Imus is actually having intercourse with an old buzzard like yourself, B.J. That'll tickle me ribs. I'll then make this observation, Mr. Moore,
Yeah.
about that unwed pregnant Catholic school teacher who's trying to sue the Archdiocese because we gave her the boot. How the hell that pig got someone to play hide the shillelagh with her? That's a mystery, Mr. Moore. Keep your filthy legs closed and stop whining and join the gym while you're at it, you moose, you be Jesus.
No, come on there.
But enough of the bull shenanigans, Mr. Moore. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Did you happen to see that picture in the paper of Senator Hillary Clinton and Ellen DeGeneres on the Staten Island ferry over the weekend, Mr. Moore?
No, I did not.
I kid you not, fella. Of all the nauseating photos, to open up my Sunday paper and see these two tuna-licking twats, be Jesus. Standing there grinning.
No.
With a fishing pole in each hand, be Jesus, on a boat in New York Harbor, looking up the Statue of Liberty's dress of all things, be Jesus.
That's going too far.
Damn near threw up the English muffin, Mr. Moore.
Yeah.
Imagine that. President Hillary Clinton and First Lady Ellen DeGeneres, BJs. I think it's time for a prayer, BJs. Heads down, you morons.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the watch.
Shut up, you hooligan, you. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
The I-man decomposing we want the most. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
We pray Hillary Clinton and Al Franken don't go to Iraq to visit our men who fight. It insults our guys to see these two four-eyed commies with goofy overbites. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
We pray that pictures exist that would get stupid Congresswoman Jean Smith and liar Dick Cheney in trouble. Something like him with his trouser snake out and her in full gobble. Lord, hear our prayer, BG.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, God bless Pope Mengele, Ratzinger, for allaying altar boys' parents' fears by banning from the priesthood all active queers. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer, I guess.
And to make yourselves feel good on Thursday as you sit down to eat, just know it's the one day of the year that Mrs. Imus eats white meat, BG. Lord, hear our prayer.
Oh, you skunk.
Which doesn't belong in why?
Oh, I like this.
Which doesn't belong in why?
All right.
A, turkey giblets.
Turkey giblets.
B, a turkey's beak.
A turkey's beak.
C, the I-man's turkey neck. Which doesn't belong in why?
Well, I would say the I-man's turkey neck.
Wrong, you needle-thick old nit with your BGs. But nobody at the Thanksgiving dinner table wants to think of or see any of the aforementioned three. The answer, therefore, is that they all belong, you prune-headed old fag, you. Gobble, gobble, and this, you smuckers. Have a lovely Thanksgiving, the whole lot of you.
Hello, Wilfred Brimley. On behalf of the good folks at Quaker Oats, Butterball, and the World Health Organization. Well, it's that time of the year again. Holidays are hard on us. Maybe I ought to think about putting that another way. The holidays are right on the doorstep. That's better. Time to think about family, warm memories, and staying alive. That's right. You know what's out there this time around. Yes, sir, the bird flu. Going through poultry like you know what through a goose. Now, you know how healthy thinking we are here in the Quaker Oats Brimley kitchen, keeping your cholesterol down and all. We're just as interested in you being able to keep your turkeys down when you eat the damn thing this year. I know there ain't been no reports of bird flu here yet, but better safe than sorry, which is why I'm introducing this year, with the backing of the good folks at the Emerging Infectious Diseases Society of America, Wilford Brimley's Tom Turkey Preheat Precaution Procedure. Basic fact, heat kills your microbes. Double heating, it follows, absolutely massacres them. This year, Brimley wants you to preheat your bird before you oven cook your bird. Well, Wilfred, you say, how do I do that? Got you covered. Friction, my friend, that's right. Hell, it goes all the way back to old Isaac Einstein, or one of them. Something rubbing up against something else makes heat. And that is how we're going to preheat old Mr. Butter-basted Baker Bird to make him healthy, so that when the meal's over, you and your own personal pants pocket parrot can still pop. So let's go. Just take hold of Mr. Tom by his conveniently located drumsticks, love handles, some call them, like this here. Make sure he's on a table at about waist level. Then simply take out your private meat thermometer so you'll know when he's hot enough. And go to making friction with it in that appropriately named stuffing cavity. A bonus hint, you're going to be simultaneously basting the sumbitch at the same time. And then, when you're done preheating, throw the entire mess in the oven at about 700 degrees and get ready to gag. Bird flu? I don't think so. No, sir. Not with Wilford Brimley's Tom Turkey Preheat Precaution Procedure. Oh, sure, you'll have to sign up with the Megan's Law, boys, but you can be confident that you can cook your bird without cooking your goose. Don't have to thank me. It's the right thing to do.
No, it's not the right thing to do. It's just repulsive. What's wrong with you, Charles?
Nothing, sir.
What?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
Not a thing.
Who wrote that?
Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry for over 20...
WFAN Highway Patrol.
It is 21 minutes after the hour here in the Imus Morning program on radio around the country on MSNBC. Dr. Phil's coming up with some thoughts on, well, family get-togethers and Thanksgiving, right, Dr. Phil?
That was my mission today, man.
Yeah.
Try to give people a way of coping with the unfortunate and unpleasant task of being with family members during this festive holiday season.
Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way, to my sister-in-law, Barbara Heckler, who's 17 today. Something like that.
That's a real heartfelt wish from you, man.
Well, I like her.
Well, we can feel the love.
Feel this. Please welcome now officially to the Imus in the Morning program, our old friend, Dr. Phil. Good morning, Dr. Phil.
Morning, man. As the spike in the suicide rate would indicate, the holiday season has arrived. Thanksgiving, the traditional celebration of health, home, and hearth, when you're forced to break bread with people whose existence you deny every other day of the year. In fact, most of us would rather eat a butterball turkey stuffed with avian flu than have to listen to our drunk father-in-law rant for 6 hours about how he would have been line manager by now if it weren't for that uppity colored kid getting his promotion. I don't care who you are, the Kennedy clan or the Manson family, there's a horn of plenty just overflowing with dysfunction sitting at every Thanksgiving table. And chances are you'll be sitting between the mayor of Crazy Town and Mrs. H.I. Crazy Positive. We all have a version of at least one of these archly annoying archetypes hanging like moss fungus off our family trees. The sister and her soon-to-be ex-husband who perform an uncanny recreation of what they've been working through at the marriage counselors. Would you please pass the peas, honey? Why don't you get your whore to pass them to you? The vegan nephew who calls you murderer every time you reach for a drumstick. The bulimic lesbian niece who leaves the table every 5 minutes and comes back for yet another helping of sweet potatoes. Everybody's got that harmless old Uncle Alzheimer who, during the meal, can usually be found wandering around the bushes in the backyard looking for his pants. And what would any family gathering be without the judgmental, middle case mother-in-law who thinks your wife traded down when she accepted your marriage proposal instead of that nice pipe fitter boy she used to go with? Or dear old grandma who always smells of turnips, not because it's Thanksgiving, but because her depends are full. There's a whole slew of variations on the creep known as brother-in-law, everything from the one who spends most of the meal trying to get you into his pyramid scam, to the one who thinks French kissing your wife is appropriate because we're all family, to the one who gets drunk and calls you baldy and wants to know how Mr. Big TV shrink a-hole feels about having to kiss the ass of a fat black woman just to get his career off the ground. I implore everyone within the sound of my voice to make tomorrow a tolerable, uneventful, peaceful event by doing what I do. Start drinking. Now. By the time the turkey's out the oven tomorrow, you'll be under the table, unconscious, but thankful that it'll be a whole year before you'll have to suffer through this hell again. And why? Daddy keeps the guns in the case next to the bed.
Dr. Phil here on the Imus program. This could be the greatest Christmas song ever written, Robert Earl Keen. This version is from Eddie Montgomery and T-Roy. This is Christmas. This is Thanksgiving at McCord's house, believe me.
Mom got drunk and Dad got drunk at a Christmas party. We were trying who talks all about AA. Chain smoking while the stereo plays Noel, Noel, the first Noel. You turn the ball game on. It's margaritas when the eggnog's gone. Send somebody to the quick pack store. We need some ice and extension cords. A can of bean dip and some diet rice. A box of Pampers, some Marlboro Lights. Hallelujah, everybody sing cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Drove from Marlin Jim. I can't remember how I'm kin to them, but when they tried to plug the motor home in, they blew our Christmas lights. Cousin David knew just what went wrong, so we all waited out on our front lawn. He threw the breaker and the lights came on, and we sang Silent Night, Silent Night, oh holy night. Cause the turkey turned the ball game on. Big Bloody Marys, cause we all want one. Send somebody to the stop and go. We need some celery and a can of fake snow.
Montgomery Gentry. Here on the I'm a Civilian program. Boy, that is Christmas at your house, ain't it, McCoy?
I'm afraid it is.
Yeah, I mean... Mickey Thomas and Elvin Bishop. Talking about the amazing new Tosimo system. It's now available at Tosimo.com or in...
Feels like 17 with the wind. I'm Amy Solano for the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
Please welcome one of my favorite people to the program. One of my favorite guests.
Copyright 2005, Infinity Broadcasting. All rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment.
You're listening to the flagship station for Mets baseball.
Let us out of here!
Giants football.
Touchdown, Giants!
And Imus in the Morning.
He's a low-rent, thieving slug in a crepe.
The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting Station.
Good morning at 10 o'clock. This is John Minko. Newsday reports it's a done deal pending physical right center. And the Mets have taken a 3-1 lead.
Joe Benito.
10:05 on the Fan, and a very good Wednesday morning to you. Thanksgiving Eve 2005. Joe Benito with you here on the Midday Show. 718-937-6666 is the phone number carrying you right through to 1 o'clock when, of course, the Mike and the Mad Dog program will come your way. Dolph Kramer, Matty Deutsch on the other side of the glass, and I'll tell you what, I am pumped up for a big 4-day weekend, all the football, but the Mets, Carlos Delgado, is now a New York Met pending physical. Let me just say this, Mr. Marr, to you McCord, your gaggle of goons here,
Yes.
and the brain-dead Gentile audience of yours out there on their way to work.
Yes.
I know what the hell you people are thinking. What's going on in your feeble, hateful minds? Which is that, yes, it's a miserable morn, rain, floods, earthquakes, death, war, deadly chicken epidemics. But it is Yom Kippur, and at least there'll be no whiny Jews around today, BG. Admit it, you backward-thinking passages. Anyone here who isn't harboring such thoughts, speak up now. There you are. I rest my case, Mr. Marr. I want you people to purge your minds of such bigoted thoughts immediately, BGs. McCord.
Yes.
You wipe that big grin off your face. I'll come over. I'll come over and put my boot in your yellow teeth, you miserable hick, you BGs.
I don't want that to happen, Carson.
We love our filthy fish goblin brethren, BGs, Mr. Marr, who happen to be in the throes of starvation here, right now, until tonight. Hey, Moisey, eat this, you schmuck, you BGs. Do us a favor, take the rest of the week off, you beanie-wearing moronches, BGs. Sorry, Mr. Marr. First Lady Laura Bush thinks there might be some sexism involved in the opposition to this Judge Murray's nomination, Mr. Marr. Sexism of all the flippin' post shenanigans. Bloody nonsense, Mr. Marr. Well, Mr. Marr, does it say this hefty hoe can sprout off on matters of such importance? And just where is the damn sexism, Mr. Marr? It's about being qualified, you dumb bimbo. If that requires a hairy set of onions, so be it, sweetheart, BGs. I've got a suggestion for Laura Bush, Mr. Marr. Instead of tagging along with the old man to the Gulf Coast putting up lumber, she should be home working that fat arse in the White House, so Junior can come home and put some word up on that, BGs. Tell me the hell up, you dingbat, you. Sexism indeed, Mr. Marr. And let me just say this to you dickhead liberals out there who put the news on TV. Nobody's paying attention, Mr. Marr. We live in a nation of heat and investing. Wake the hell up. Knuckle-dragging intellectual pygmies, Mr. Moore. More interested in what's happening in Wisteria Lane and Pennsylvania Avenue, BJs. Talk all you want about earthquakes and earthquakes and disease poultry, Mr. Moore. But it's shaking Heidi's and choking chickens these days. All about, Mr. Moore.
This is not funny.
New York City Mayor, Mr. Moore. New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg knows how stupid the public is. Hoax or no hoax, Mr. Moore.
Yeah.
An opportunity to get in front of the cameras to show concern is what's important. That's what matters, Mr. Moore. Especially before an election. Mike Bloomberg is a spotlight-sucking grandstanding little monkey who makes Muck Schumer look like Greta Garbo, BJ's. God, scumbags, God forgive me. Now, let me just say this, Mr. Moore. Enough with these silly parades in front of the cathedral here in New York every damn week.
Yeah.
Last week it was the Polo State Parade with the Polacks marching the wrong way down Fifth Avenue, BJ's. Bloody Amazons. Then this past Monday it was the Italians in Columbus Day. BJ's, if the stench of garlic didn't get you, it was the sight of those big-nosed, mustachioed bitches, which would make you throw up. Meatball-sucking mooks. Stay the hell home, Mr. Moore. Let me just say one more thing, Mr. Moore. The liberal loudmouth and wayward Catholic Maureen Dowd, who asked the question in the title of her new book, Are men necessary? Are men necessary, Mr. Moore? Let me respond by asking the following question. Are neurotic postmenopausal whores necessary, BJ's? Have another glass of wine, you witch, you. Let us pray. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. I'm man choking on a bagel we want the most. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Amen. Which says along and why? Which says along and why?
What a great prayer.
A, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
B, New York Senator Chuck Schumer.
Chuck Schumer.
C, comedian Larry the Cable Guy. Which says along and why?
Well, I would think Larry the Cable Guy.
Wrong, you dilapidated old douchebag, you BJ's. Well, the I-maggot managed to disgrace himself by damn near performing fellatio on all three on his silly radio program all within 1 week. The answer, Mr. Moore, clearly is B. Senator Schmuck Schumer doesn't belong because unlike the other two, Schmuck Schumer is, well, a whiny Jew, Mr. Moore. I'll see you in hell, McCall, you douchebag, you. Let's do it. Have a sandwich, you dummy Jew. What a... Honesty. It's a cornerstone of the eHarmony.
By the reins and harnesses out to the meadowland. On, let's go. The winners play and the adrenaline flows. It's all about being here. It's what your soul understands. It's all about being here. The meadowland.
The Breeders' Crown is the richest series in harness racing. So naturally, it happens at the greatest venue in harness racing, Meadowlands Racetrack. And it all happens this Saturday night. The greatest horses and drivers chasing after $4.3 million in purses. Get here early and score an awesome long-sleeve Breeders' Crown T-shirt while supplies last. Then get ready to stay late, because in harness racing, there's no other night as big as this. It all comes down to the Breeders' Crown this Saturday at Meadowlands Racetrack. First race, 7:30 p.m.
It's all about being here. The Meadowland.
Loving family at this year's holiday dinner.
Hey, little glass. Don't look down. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The choir of children sing their song. They practiced all year long. Ding dong, 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 dong, dong. The party's on, the spirit's up. We're here tonight, and that's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. We're simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The mood is right, the spirit's up. We're here tonight. Oh, that's enough. We're simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Christmas time.
All holiday weekend. Win your way.
Bing Crosby's White Christmas, which is okay. Andy Williams, none of these songs, none of them. We have played Nat Cole's, but not, the Carpenters with Merry Christmas, Darling.
No.
Johnny Mathis is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yoko Ono and Gene Autry's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer were wild like that.
Yeah.
But why it doesn't determine the program of New York radio stations, or this one. John Lennon's and Yoko Ono's Happy Christmas War is over, and we'll play that occasionally. Harry Connick Jr., Amy Grant. I don't like Amy Grant. But none of these contain ours.
I can't understand that.
Which our number one Christmas song of all time is Merry Christmas, Baby at Lightning Hopkins. Followed closely by Montgomery Gentry's, what's that called? Christmas with the Family.
Yeah. Merry Christmas from the Family.
Merry Christmas from the Family. Followed also closely by Dwight Yoakam's Santa Can't Stay.
Right.
And the Drifters' White Christmas.
George Jones,
A Lonely Christmas Call.
You can kill yourself for Christmas.
Yeah. There are a few others that escape me at this point. Huey Piano Smith and the Clowns and Silent Night. And Merry Christmas, Baby. Well, there's a bunch of those. I like Bruce Springsteen's, also like Elvis's. But I mean...
Basically, the Imus in the Morning Christmas list contains white trash Christmas songs and pimps singing
blues
about the baby
and
Jesus.
white, blues and white trash. So that's all that. So Charles, it turns out, was alone for Thanksgiving after all that business, trying to make me feel bad.
Yeah.
Charles' wife had to take their dog someplace. They have these. Charles had two dogs, these Boston Terriers, that were number one dogs in the country for 5 years, each of them. And they won. One of them won Westminster. They both won Westminster. One won Westminster. So they were big-time dogs. They're little bug-eyed dogs that look like
Crack. What do you describe them? Crack addicts?
Yeah. I'm getting our dog the December 10th. We got a Norfolk Terrier.
Yeah.
Virgil's her name. I don't know why we've named her Virgil. That's Wyatt's idea. Oh, they're cute dogs. But the other ones you see in the movies all the time is not why we got it. I don't know why. We got it to replace Collins, but
yes,
I'm just not quite sure about any of it. So, what did you, so you were all by yourself?
That's true. Yep. From Thursday through, she's still not back. She comes back tomorrow.
Where'd she go with the new dog? What's the new dog's name? Gibby.
Gibby.
Named after Bob Gibson.
Mm-hmm. It says puppy, 7 months old.
What's his story?
Her story.
Well, yeah.
Her story is that she's just a very cute little dog and was in a show down in the Fort Myers area
and
over this weekend and won twice. Won both days.
Your dog won again?
Yeah.
Your trainer's a nice lady. What's her name?
Barbara Beisel. She's a lovely lady. Yeah.
All right, please welcome now to the I'm Swinging program. Every Monday is Newsweek magazine day. I don't know why, but
just the way it works now.
Yeah, we like these people, and it seems like we only have them on Monday. Why is that, Bernard?
Well, it's the day the magazine is rolled out. It seems to make perfect sense.
And here's the managing editor for Newsweek, John Meacham. Good morning, Mr. Meacham.
Good morning, Don. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm all right. You had a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
There was a pause there.
Well, because we're at the ranch and we give everybody off, so somebody has to feed all of the animals. There are a couple hundred animals there. Cattle, horses, sheep, buffalo.
They don't take time off.
Dogs, and cats.
They don't have a Thanksgiving.
And it takes the cowboys a couple hours to do it. It takes me and Deirdre and Wyatt all day. So, but it's fun.
Well, let's have a return to the original Thanksgiving. Sort of out there in the elements, doing what you should do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought it was something kind of interesting yesterday on Meet the Press.
What's happening, or we can share stories back and forth.
Yeah, one say this was
taken out to the left lane there on the exit ramp. Westbound Belt Parkway slow from Sunrise Highway to Rockaway Boulevard. Flooding has started to subside, but it's still slow from JFK into Lefferts. Over to Bergen County, New Jersey, eastbound on Route 4 before River Road in Teaneck. Accident being moved off to the shoulder. And eastbound 80 accident on the right shoulder at Mount Hope Road. 20 minutes at the Holland and Lincoln. 30 at the George. The Imus in the morning forecast. Rain ends, then clearing out. Breezy, high in the upper 50s. 61 degrees under cloudy skies on Maggie Mudflaps with the Toyota Fan Highway Patrol.
20 minutes after the hour here on the I'm Swinging program on the radio, on the country, and on MSNBC. Senator Joe Lieberman is coming up. He's just been to Iraq, and he's written something here for the, looks like the Wall Street Journal.
In yesterday's paper.
Right. Our troops must stay. Americans can't abandon 27 million Iraqis to 10,000 terrorists. I've just returned from my 4th trip to Iraq in the past 17 months, and I can report real progress there. Much more apparently than our reporters can report. Richard Engel and Tom Aspel and Jim Maceda, who are there every day, day in and day out, they're not reporting any progress, but apparently Senator Lieberman is able to. More work needs to be done, writes the senator, of course, but the Iraqi people are in reach of a watershed transformation from the primitive killing tyranny of Saddam to modern self-governing, self-securing nationhood. Unless the great American military that has given them and us this unexpected opportunity is prematurely withdrawn. He's drunk.
Hey, let your son die for the Iraqi people.
Pardon me?
Let his son die for the Iraqi people. Screw them. The ingrates.
I mean, what is he talking about?
He can't even fly the American flag over there.
He can't drive from the airport to Baghdad without an armed... Listen, he's in an armored vehicle with an armed escort. Who's he kidding?
Wearing a flak jacket.
What is he, nuts?
Let him live in tyranny. Who cares?
Outrageous. And now, even a more serious issue is we have the... What was that? The fat boy... The fat... What?
Fat boy laying
down the law?
Yep.
Well, what is that? Then we have this fat moose. He's laying down the law to some football player in where, Detroit?
I just felt passionate about it. I have a couple of topics that I feel passionate about, and that was one of them.
Confine them to some other program. Jesus, God, was it?
But this is my only forum.
Well, you better think about that.
At least for the moment it is.
Yeah. Man, I mean, you've lost your mind, so.
I don't think I've lost my mind. I occasionally like to interject an opinion.
Yeah,
I felt like it was the right time.
Don't. Cut out.
Keep your opinions.
Keep your opinions to yourself, you fat moose. What are you, nuts?
You punk, I'll tell you now. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you punk.
You punk.
Yeah, close your pie hole. If you knew how... I mean, what I really need to do is about 2 weeks from now or a month from now, play that back for you. mean, it would be one of those things where you couldn't stay in a room and watch it. You'd be so embarrassed.
Or if he was at a party and a tape just came on.
Oh, my God. You just...
talking to other sports figures.
If you turned on ESPN and saw, whoever's on Dan Patrick or whoever those people are, and saw them doing something like that, you'd kill yourself.
No, I'd start watching.
Well, that's why that's not our audience.
Dan Patrick laying down the law.
Oh, my God. That is just unbelievable. Anyway, what else is going on in the world, Charles?
A couple of things, man. A couple of top Army analysts say the U.S. should not expect so much regarding Iraq's future. Andrew Terrell and Conrad Crane advising against setting a schedule to withdraw troops. But a new study from the Army War College experts says an American presence in Iraq probably can't go on more than 3 more years. Terrell and Crane also think it's increasingly unlikely that coalition forces will, quote, crush the insurgency before withdrawing.
Hey, last night on the Daily Show, Tom? Is that what it was? Okay. I haven't seen this, but I don't need to preview it because I trust Jon Stewart. But apparently he was addressing the Congressman Cunningham issue. Congressman Cunningham's the guy who took nearly $2.5 million in bribes.
The Dukester, yeah.
So here is Jon Stewart from last night's Daily Show on Comedy Central. Roll that, Bigfoot.
The bribes Cunningham admitted to taking included cash, this $3 million mansion, this 42-foot yacht subtly named the Dukester, and according to the Washington Post, 2 silver candelabras, 7 Persian rugs, and a $7,200 19th century Louis Philippe commode. Before you laugh, the commode is not a toilet. It is actually a low chest of drawers like this one shown here, admired by collectors for the ease in which you can take a dump in it. Now, at his press conference, I am concerned at what you're applauding.
Could be.
At Duke's press conference, this Cunningham cried like little Ralph Malph.
I broke the law, concealed my conduct, and disgraced my office. I know that I will forfeit my freedom, my reputation, my worldly possessions, most importantly,
the ski house, the diamond watch,
the trust of my friends and family.
Sounds touching, but those tears paid for by a lobbyist from the saline industry. As Cunningham's legal troubles were emerging, then Majority Leader Tom DeLay rose to defend Cunningham by insisting, quote, Duke Cunningham is an honorable man of high integrity. Was the same speech in which DeLay said of another colleague, Achilles has the strongest heel I have ever seen.
Jon Stewart, last night's Daily Show on Comedy Central, 11 p.m. Eastern Time on, well, you can find it. It's Channel 45 and the cable thing. It's, I don't know what it is. Look it up. Jesus. 26 after the hour.
Get a schedule.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm getting mad at myself. Anyway, Senator Joe Lieberman is coming up.
1, 2, 3. Imus in the morning. Hey, you. That's right, you. Focus with me for a second. There's something.
Senator's here this morning. Good to see you, Jack.
Good to see you as always, Mr.
Jack will have some thoughts about what? Do you know, Jack? Or?
Yes, of course I know.
Yeah.
Thoughts about mainly your tree-hugging, Hillary Clinton ass-kissing liberal element.
Okay. Most of the guests on the program. And then Jack Nicholson, well, he'll be up. And then Cardinal Egan's coming in. Excellent. Some thoughts on the Christmas tree. And Amy Roback and Randy Meyer will do the news at 9 o'clock on MSNBC, and they'll have the president's address at about 10 minutes till the hour. I thought they both were great yesterday with the Beach Boys. I was back in makeup earlier this morning, and they're fixing Amy's hair, and one of the makeup terrorists is back there with an aerosol. Amy's going to have a baby. They're back there spraying this aerosol. I mean, just make that up. You can't even. You might as well just might as well smoke.
Sure.
You want to pay the baby's college tuition? Got to look good on TV.
What will? Well, yeah, but there's others. There's an alternative to aerosol hairspray.
A do-rag?
Well, no. There's all kinds of there's stuff in a pump bottle you can use.
Exactly.
You don't have to stuff. You wouldn't know because you don't have any hair. And nothing inside where your hair would be either, by the way.
Bad point?
This morning, here at it's MSNBC Appreciation Week, and at 6 a.m., this is a couple hours ago Eastern Time, you could go to the main conference room and get cookie number 3.
Okay.
Who thought this up? There's a guy around here who looks like a mole. What's his name?
Rita Cosby thought of it.
Mark Efron. What is his role? Do you know, Charles?
No, I don't.
You seen him going around here?
I don't know.
He looks like he just crawled out of a cave somewhere.
He is definitely rodentine.
Man, that is a...
Yes.
Why is it that you get these executives, both radio and television, and they're weird-looking little creatures, you know, like Chernoff is just kind of just skulking around the hall, and
they spawn beneath rocks.
Yeah, don't they look like they crawled out? I mean, and then they're glaring at you, and they just God. And then Captain, he's disappeared. We haven't seen him. He's seen the light.
He's seen the light?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
And then we have continuing with our MSNBC Appreciation Week.
Yeah.
We have the New York Sketches caricature artist coming in this morning at 9 o'clock. They'll be over there in the employee lounge.
Cool.
And we're going to try to get them to come in here early, aren't we? Okay. And do you have to pay for this? Oh, you don't? Huh. Oh, okay. Well, I was willing to $200-300.
Sure.
But as long as I don't have to, that's fine. Here's Charles with some news headlines, and then we're going to get to Jack Nicholson and then Cardinal Egan.
All right. White House says the U.S. military presence in Iraq may become less visible, but won't lose its power over the next year. Look ahead, part of a plan being released today outlining the Iraq strategy, a document called Our National Strategy for Victory in Iraq. And the president will talk about that in Iraq this morning in a speech at the U.S. Naval Academy. Germany's leader says her government won't be blackmailed by abductors holding a German archaeologist in Iraq. The new Chief Justice John Roberts presiding over his first abortion rights case at the Supreme Court today involving a New Hampshire law that requires parents to be told 48 hours before a minor has an abortion. Pope Benedict calling the number of people affected by AIDS in this world alarming and says the Catholic Church is committed to helping the sick. The UN is asking the world to unite to fight the disease. Tomorrow is World AIDS Day. New rules may allow airline passengers to bring sharp objects aboard airliners again.
What?
The Washington Post reports the Transportation Security Administration plans to announce security changes on Friday. Under the new rules, scissors would again be okay in your carry-on bag, that sort of thing.
That's great.
And a little holiday cheer being spread to hurricane victims in New Orleans, a company in Oregon donating some 500 Christmas trees, which were given away yesterday to families along Canal Street.
That moron who's the mayor of New Orleans, Ray Nagin?
Yes, sir.
He's running for re-election.
I am aware of that, yeah.
Well, who's going to vote for him? I mean, who's there to vote for him? That's what I meant.
Who's left in the city?
Need more levees.
Vote for me. I'll fix the levee.
And then I saw him last night with Brian Williams.
Yep.
And he's talking about, Brian's getting ready to interview him, and he's got about as hostile. It looks like Brian's getting ready to interview Suge Knight because Ray had a real attitude going for him, and he's expecting, some Dan Rather-like question.
Uh-huh.
But Brian was respectful. And,
yes, he was.
But Ray talking about, Mayor Nagin talking about what he would have done different.
Right.
There's lots, I'm sure.
I mean,
really?
Everything. And we're supposed to re-elect this moron, who was a cable TV executive, by the way. But it'd be like electing this Mark Efron running around here to something. Maybe
to fix the levees.
Mayor of Secaucus, All right. Please welcome now the I'm Somebody program with some thoughts on, whining wussies. Jack Nicholson. Good morning, Jack.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here as we prepare for the joyous holiday season, which got off to such a warm and amiable start, I noticed, with this item, and I quote, "A Florida man told detectives late Sunday that he had beaten his family to death with a pipe on Thanksgiving evening. Not home for the holidays are his parents, his 82-year-old grandmother, and his brother. What do you suppose? He said white meat, and they gave him a thigh? Anyway, just the kind of merry family gathering I've been hearing you talking about here, Imus. Grandma, I got you something from the plumbing supply, bitch. There is a Santa Claus, and he's in the joint on the pedophilia rap for showing 8-year-olds his candy cane. Wonderful. You know who's captured the real spirit of the season? Saddam Hussein. You know, you're absolutely right. Imus, by the way. Give the friggin' country back to the crazy bastard and make him keep Ramsey Clark. That'd be punishment enough. What's Ramsey Clark's story, anyway? I was looking at his client list. Arafat, Khomeini, Milosevic, Ho Chi Minh, some dude with a chainsaw in Rwanda, and now Saddam Hussein. What's his business card say? Whiplash and anti-American genocidal lunatic specialist? I'll bet he's perfectly comfortable when he has to put on a judicial robe over there with one of those sand dune do-rags on his head. What an unctuous son of a bitch. That's what I liked about your Beach Boys guests, Imus. No Sheryl Crow, artificial, posturing pansy, left-wing do-gooder crap. They shut up and sing without having to set fire to a Hummer dealership hollering, "Save Flipper." Which reminds me, I saw in the paper the other day that Rob Reiner had said Iraq's become the same thing we found in Vietnam, making the writer wonder just which branch of the military Mr. Reiner had been in. And I think I know. The Screaming Pussies, right, meathead? I also see that Angelina Jolie, our new unelected serial catastrophe stalker, has been back to the Asian earthquake zone. And this time even dragged along poor old Brad. Jesus, the broad must really be hot in the sack, because otherwise I don't get it. And on a not unrelated subject, Imus, this Homedics Shiatsu massage machine you're advertising? You know, that invigorates muscles? Sure. I got a muscle that could stand some invigorating. I figure you could just paint eyes and a pair of Angelina lips on this thing, and when it's over, you don't have to hold it. With my relationship history, that's a stocking stuffer if I ever heard one. Okay, sweetheart? So, keep the Tassimo machine. I'll just take one of those. You know what I mean?
Jack Nicholson here on the Imus in the Morning program.
Season's greetings. All the proceeds are brought to you by the church house where we'll be eating. Everybody happy. Hair still nappy. Gonna steal a gift from my old grandpappy. Catch me giving out turkeys at the church house. Don't try to work me. Just stand in line and everything gonna be fine. Holla at your folks, boys, going down. Ain't no helps from no else, just the dog pound. And we passing our gift. Blazing up flip. Christmas on the road. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Santa Claus.
It's coming straight to the ghetto. Imus in the morning.
On MSNBC, David Gregory is coming up, and so is Monica Crowley. But first, please welcome over from the Archdiocese of Manhattan, our old friend Cardinal Egan. Good morning, Cardinal Egan.
Make me sick. Good morning, God bless. I'd like to say it's good to be back, Mr. Moore.
Sure.
I'd also like to say my condolences to you and your lost Mrs. Imus. But unfortunately, neither would apply at the moment, PJs. But I will say this, Mr. Moore.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the family of those little girls hurt in that accident during the Thanksgiving Day parade. For not caving into the temptation to file some big, greedy, damn lawsuit, Mr. Moore. Something tells me that these people don't celebrate their Sabbath on Saturday, if you know what I mean, Mr. Moore. Big-leading smutches. And once again, Mr. Moore, I noticed that the I-Man did not make his beloved Barbara Walters' annual list of the 10 most fascinating people. Don't sulk stupid. You leave my list of the 10 most nauseating people, you dizzy old dickhead, you be Jesus. Congratulations, Mr. Moore.
Yeah.
To the singer Elton John and his impending marriage.
Yeah.
McCord. Yes. Why can't we pay attention, you fool?
I'm sorry, Remnant.
You had the I-Man in your mouth again, do you?
I got a mouthful of something.
Yeah, sounds like it, you dirtbag, you. Speaking of which, McCord.
Yes, go ahead.
Why can't we just euthanize these washed-up old fruit balls, McCord?
I don't know.
Answer me, you yellow-toothed yahoo, you begin. Yeah, all right there, but you're joking. And if that isn't enough to make you sick, Mr. Moore, how about the thought of a Senator Bruce Springsteen from New Jersey? You heard me correctly, Mr. Moore. There's actually talk of a Senator Bruce Springsteen All I can say, Mr. Moore, is that before that happens, let's hope that little born-to-wine, America-hating faggot be taking a nap next to Jimmy Hoffa, be jeez. And shame, Mr. Moore, shame on CNN, the cable news commies, for editorializing in their news coverage by putting a big X over Dick Cheney's face while the man was trying to give an important speech on the war.
Oh, yeah.
And then trotting out the CNN news skank, who just happens to be Rush Limbaugh's skull-faced whore, be jeez, to deny that it was done intentionally. As though the fact that she fakes orgasms with that porky pill-popping punk gives the denial some credibility, Mr. Moore. New CNN slogan, CNN, we report. You decide to watch Fox, BG. Let me just say this, Mr. Moore. What's done is done in Virginia. But let's everyone put that slick son of a Nazi California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger on notice, Mr. Moore. We're watching you. You steroid-sucking, BB-ball baboon, you BG. You make sure this cold-blooded convicted killer, this Stanley Tukey Williams fella is electrocuted on December 13th. You live up to your name and you terminate Tukey. Do we make ourselves clear, you goose-stepping gorilla, BG?
Want to take that again or no?
Do we make ourselves clear, you goose-stepping gorilla, BG?
Yeah.
Make sure you tell the likes of that Snoop Doggy dirtbag to lick your Austrian bone. And tell Bianca Jagger to take her dusty old snatch back to Nicaragua. And the Reverend Jesse Jackass to shut up and butt out. And pay his child support, BGs. On December 13th, we want Tukey lit up like a Christmas tree, BGs. With smoke coming out of his ears and his eyes rolling around his head. And his hair standing up like buckwheats when he saw a ghost, BGs. Fry the murdering bastard. Turn the founder of the Crips into a crispy critter, Mr. Moore. Terminate Tukey. Let us pray.
Okay.
In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. Right. Tukey in the turf we want the most. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, we pray somebody smacks our dumb president and he gets some sense that to keep out the Mexicans, he builds a big electrified fence. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, we pray that when Hook Knows Homo, Howard Stern goes on his TV tour, he comes home and he busts his precious girlfriend acting the whore. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, the public return of the word Christmas would be wonderful news. Like a big middle finger to the Scrooges, heathens, and Jews. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Finally, we pray that the Christmas spirit touches the eye man, even at his age, but that on Christmas Eve, he's beaten senseless in an act of road rage or some damn thing. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Which doesn't belong and why?
Okay.
Which doesn't belong and why? A, Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters.
B, Larry King.
Larry King.
C, Imus in the morning.
Well,
Which doesn't belong and why?
Obviously, Imus in the morning.
Wrong, you crease-faced old creep, you bejesus. Well, it's too bad that none of these three diaper-wearing morons were taken out by Tukey back in the day. The answer, jerk, clearly is B. Larry King doesn't belong because unlike the other two fossils, Larry King has never had a media mogul's manhood in his mouth. Go ahead, move along.
Cardinal Lee, get here on the Imus Morning Program. Monica Crowley's next.
My
5. Just set it on fire, you know. Didn't they?
Al Roker with a flamethrower standing back there.
Who's hosting this thing? Do you know, Lou?
I don't know.
No, let me see. Hang on.
We'll find out.
Al Roker and Ann Curry.
Yeah.
The ghoul from hell.
That's kind of cold, I do,
Oh,
here
man.
in our merry holiday season as we begin officially the Christmas events.
Al Roker definitely will be there.
Back when we worked at NBC, at 30 Rock there, you used to be able to park your limos in that area. I don't think you can anymore, but and it always used to be hideously annoying because they would put the tree up days, weeks before it needed to be up. It needs to be up about, put it up about the 22nd and take it down on the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Let the little wide-eyed urchins come in from Kansas to look at it, then get the hell out of town.
Yeah, and then get out.
You need to be hit by a bus.
Well, why would you say that to Charles? He doesn't even feel well.
As they're bringing the tree in.
Lord, yeah.
The truck comes in with it.
He needs to be hit by the truck that is bringing the tree.
And then have the truck back over him.
You bastards aren't bringing that in. Whoa, hold on.
What a misanthrope.
How come old Monica Crowley couldn't get herself a man? Do you understand that?
No.
Must be intimidated by her. You think that's it?
Very smart. You're right.
Either that or she's a little uptight.
A little cool,
Yeah.
Bernie.
No, she's
Just to relax.
She seems she's nice and warm and
No, she doesn't
genial.
seem that. She has a nice sense of humor.
She needs to project, that she's willing to give it up. I mean, but guys are just not going to waste their time.
Or maybe she talks too much the next morning.
Well,
she talks issues.
Like, no politics at 6 a.m. God.
How did she look from behind, Chief?
Look, she looks great.
Yeah, she really does. Yeah.
Then you ask a very good question.
Head to toe, that's a fine hoe.
Over 50 million people have made the new drama Criminal Minds a smash hit. Don't miss the special Tuesday episode of Criminal Minds. CBS tonight at 10, 9 Central.
Here, in New York for Petridge Jewelers in Greenwich, Connecticut, which is a fairly high-end community. Right, Charles?
Quite.
Yeah.
Yes. Almost iconic in its high-endness. Yes.
But this is the jeweler been in business for
forever,
probably 100 years.
Yeah.
And you're going to buy something. Well, they already had their commercial, but I would just say if you're going to buy something, I would buy it from somebody who's been in business for a while.
It's not a bad place.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you wind up with something that's not really whatever you thought it was. So the lady from New York, from wherever she's from, she's doing a caricature of me that they're filming that you'll be able to see tomorrow on MSNBC. And we're just hoping for the best. It's a caricature, let's remember that.
How's it possible to do a caricature of the I-Man?
How? The same way it's going to be possible for me to whip up on your...
You don't even know. You are a caricature.
Well, that is true. So,
Ma'am, he has a little tiny one. Not like that.
No, she's not drawing that part, Chuck.
Oh, I thought it was going to be anatomically correct.
No. It is sort of redundant, isn't it, Bernie? Caricature of the I-Man.
Bingo, Jack.
Say, this Monica Crowley.
Yes, Jack.
Quite the looker.
Yes, she is.
I assume what she said was bright and intelligent. I don't know. All I kept hearing was, "Don't stop, Jack. For God's sake, don't ever stop."
That's not what she was saying. Anyway.
Probably not.
There's Chuck with the news. Good morning, Charles.
Morning, I-Man. Within the hour, the president will be addressing cadets at the United States Naval Academy in Maryland, delivering a speech on the war in Iraq. Yesterday, same subject. The president said pulling out now would be a mistake.
We want to win. The whole objective is to achieve a victory against the terrorists. The terrorists have made it very clear that Iraq is the central front on the war on terror. See, they want us to leave before we've achieved our mission. You know why? Because they want a safe haven. They want to be able to plot and plan attacks.
And just ahead of the president's speech today at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, the White House released a document that is titled Our National Strategy for Victory in Iraq. And it repeats the administration's stance that setting a timetable for withdrawal of troops would be harmful. It would embolden the insurgency. The document says no war has ever been won on a timetable, and neither will this one.
Great.
Goes on that it's not realistic to expect a fully functioning democracy able to defeat enemies in less time than 3 years after Saddam Hussein was toppled from power.
I haven't received any email messages in several hours here, Charles. I wonder what the problem.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
You know, I have this BlackBerry. I have Verizon cell phone service. And so I have a Verizon BlackBerry. And I take it to New Mexico where I spend about half the year. And it doesn't work there.
Uh-oh.
Now, the cell phone part of it works fine. I mean, this is also a cell phone. Charles, did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. But it says data connection refused. And so I called a guy from Verizon, not my guy over in Queens, Clay, but somebody else. And he says, well, you're in some roaming area where it doesn't provide data. But that doesn't make any sense, does it?
It does, just on the surface of it, it doesn't seem to. On the face of it, because you do have the cell phone service.
If the phone part works, why wouldn't the data part work?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, Julie was supposed to get to the bottom of this yesterday. But is Julie in today? What's the matter, Lou?
Nothing. Julie's here. Have a nice morning, Julie.
Get her in, will you, please?
Get to the bottom of the BlackBerry.
Well, I need it to work.
What sort of data are you looking for, I-Man?
Well, maybe an email message from Deirdre.
Why don't you try a telephone?
We could do that, too, but sometimes, you know.
Sometimes what?
Well, you're right.
Pick up the damn phone. Smoke signals. Anything.
Maybe I just don't need this, then.
I don't think so.
It could be redundant in itself, particularly if part of it is a cell phone, if it functions as a cell phone as well as BlackBerry text receiver.
I like email because sometimes you just don't want to talk to somebody. You just want to get, you know.
Well,
but every email I send, I pretend I'm also sending it to Richard Johnson.
Oh, you got it.
That's the New York Post.
You bet.
The editor of page 6.
Pretend like it's going out immediately to a skywriter.
Yeah.
Then it's put it. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, something, speaking of Jack Welch, as we were last hour, perhaps he should have done. Then his wife wouldn't have found those gooey love notes to Susie on his computer, right, Bernie?
Man.
I don't know why you continuously attack our good friend Jack Welch.
No. This is just laying out a methodology for using email.
How am I attacking him?
Oh, earlier the cheap shot against his wife has been around more times than Lance Armstrong's bicycle tire.
All right.
And then
all right. Closed drum on a dryer.
There you go, another cheap shot.
Well, no, I retracted the bicycle thing because that's
it's just
the seven Tour de France's, each of them around 2,500 miles. We'll go with a clothes dryer.
More times than a nuclear fuel centrifuge. Because the aluminum tubes in a nuclear fuel centrifuge, when extracting U-235 isotope, spin at over 1,000 times per second.
More times than that.
I don't think it was the blackberries that got Jack in trouble. I think it was the blue balls.
11 after the hour. What else going on, Charles?
The economy, speaking of Mr. Welch and things he'd be interested in, the economy grew at a lively 4.3% pace third quarter, best showing in more than a year. The performance offering fresh testimony that the country's overall economic health managed to improve despite the hurricanes. The new snapshot of economic activity, just released by the Commerce Department a little bit ago, showed the growth at an even faster pace than the 3.8% annual rate first reported for July-September, and a sizable pickup from the 3.3% increase in gross domestic product registered in the second quarter of the year. Gasoline cheaper than it was before Katrina hit the New Orleans, consumer confidence jumping last month, and new home sales hitting a record. Stock market has been rising. Even the nation's beleaguered factories appear to be headed for a... See, there's the I-Man's caricature is what we're looking at.
I've just been handed my caricature. That is very cute. Thank you very much. We'll have this on tomorrow.
The gay caballero.
A woman from New York Sketches.
That's cute.
Do we have her name so we can get that tomorrow? Well, that's cute.
Rebecca Miller.
Rebecca Miller.
Yeah.
You're going to do that all day for people around here? Well, that's fun. Well, thank you very much, Rebecca. What else going on, Charles?
Let's see, I-Man. Pope Benedict XVI condemning Nazi Germany's attempt to exterminate the Jews as a project of death that will remain forever an indelible stain on human history. The German-born Pope grew up during Hitler's rise to power. Addressing thousands of pilgrims at his weekly general audience in St. Peter's Square, the Pope said God is the ultimate arbiter of history, knows how to listen, as he put it, to the cries of the victims, even if they are sometimes bitter toward him. Supreme Court today hears its first abortion rights case under new Chief Justice John Roberts. At issue is a New Hampshire law that requires that a parent be told 48 hours before a minor undergoes an abortion. Well, the case does not challenge the landmark ruling that called abortion a fundamental constitutional right. The results will likely signal whether the High Court is where it's headed on the overall issue. It will consider whether the 2003 New Hampshire law puts an undue burden on a woman in choosing to end a pregnancy. Oil prices today slipping to their lowest level in 5.5 months.
This is the worst caricature I have ever seen drawn.
Why are you being this way?
That is just hideous.
It was
not a good one.
Wait a second. The I-Man is the one who always says, don't tell somebody that they're good unless you mean it.
Well,
see there?
No.
He was being nice.
I did not.
Being nice.
This is a situation I just couldn't.
You did a disservice to them.
Well, you're probably right, but it's hideous. But it's a caricature.
Nobody ever likes a caricature of themselves.
It's her view.
Yeah, her interpretation.
The woman was blind.
It makes me look far too pretty.
Had no hands.
Give her a break. Yes, she started in my left foot.
She makes me look far more attractive than I am. So I'm sort of a kind of a rugged, manly,
Well, yeah,
right.
Whatever.
I'm an astronaut. Have I mentioned that?
A quarter after the hour. Pretty little Dwight Yoakam there. The great version of that song is Terry. Tracy Birch is in the studio. This will interest you, Tracy. While the commercials are playing, I'm having a conversation with management. And management's saying to me about a certain sponsor. They said the sponsor's very conservative. And please, when you're talking about the assortment of items available in their establishment, don't say large erection. say large or wide selection or whatever. Just.
But why? It's funny.
Yeah, surely they see the humor in that.
Man, they don't get it.
Satellite radio, baby.
I like it either way.
But what I think is amusing.
That's not what we're looking for here at the Vatican gift shop, actually, not commercial. Just a wide selection of papal items is what we prefer you say.
But here it is. It's 2005.
Not a large papal erection?
And I've been doing this for a long time.
Oh, my God.
And I'm still it's just fine. And I'm still having conversations with management about about just infantile comments like large erection. Just because when I was 14 years old, I thought it was funny. And I'm 65 now, and I still think it's funny. So, I don't know what to tell you. It makes me laugh. It's 23 after the hour. Well, we're going to try sports again. And that's been a good morning because we had, what was that horribly lame thing you did earlier this morning? What was that called?
It was Fat Boy laying down the law.
It was what now? No, Fat Boy laying down the law.
The Fat Boy laying down the law. It was just a forum for me to express my strong opinions on issues in the world of sports. But apparently it was not met with a great reception.
No, we don't care what your opinions are. We simply want to know what happened.
I have another opinion.
What's that?
I mean, I can fill you in another laying down the law, keeping it real kind of thing. Would you like to hear it?
It can't be any worse than the last one.
No. Oh, I bet it could. Let's hear it.
All right. Well, the NFL announced yesterday the Rolling Stones will play halftime at the Super Bowl this year.
The Fat Boy laying down the law.
Oh, my God, enough. I cannot take this anymore. It's over. And these clowns can't figure it out. Look, just because people keep showing up to see you doesn't mean it's not over. If middle-aged people want to shell out $225 because they never saw you do Sympathy for the Devil live, guess what? They still won't see it because you're dead. Hang fire? No. Just hang me.
The fat boy. Lay it down the law.
I'm finishing.
It was worse than the last one, Bernie.
It's a toss-up.
That was dreadful. I mean dreadful.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
What would the Super Bowl be thinking about, though, with the Rolling Stones? I mean,
wish. I know.
It's a good question.
I just have no
I mean, there's got to be somebody they can get to.
How about you, too? How about
How
somebody
about
like that?
them?
Had them a few years ago. They were terrific.
Enough of them, too.
Them sick of Bono. Go hug Angelina Jolie. God,
I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I can't help but think that you occasionally feel it necessary to try to extinguish my star.
No, it's just when you do things that suck, you know.
I understand, but
it's so lame it makes you cringe.
I'm just trying to.
It's one of those things where you hear it, you got to leave the room.
Go make a sandwich.
Yeah,
It should be against the law. I don't have to leave the room to make it.
Laying down the law. What's the woman saying in that cut?
In the cut, it's
The fat boy. Lay it down the law.
What is she saying?
I don't even know.
What is she saying, Lou?
I don't know. It's probably in Joey's weird mind, something going on.
Yeah.
Let me hear it again.
The fat boy. Lay it down the law.
It's a hidden message.
I don't know what she's saying, but it's the best part of the whole thing.
If we play it backwards, it says you suck.
She's saying big erection. The big erection of scores.
Well, I guess I could go on to some actual news if you'd like.
Yeah, well, give me that.
Well, big news in New York yesterday. A day after introducing Carlos Delgado as their new first baseman, Mets signed Billy Wagner to be their closer to a 4-year contract. Wagner cites the greeting he and his wife received in New York as the reason for deciding to play for the Mets.
I think the meet was very important for my wife.
Well, understandably so.
The what?
The meet was very important for my wife, was exactly what he said.
Well, I heard Mike and Chris interview him, and he said all the right things. They asked him all the questions. He said all the right things. He sounded like the most, you used the word earlier this morning, the most affable guy on the planet.
He will come here. Delgado will. He will win the MVP. Billy Wagner will win the Cy Young, and the Mets will once again return to glory.
Is he the schmuck that didn't stand up for the national anthem?
Same guy.
It was God Bless America, and yes, that's him.
And now he's on the Mets.
Let me ask you this.
And you're going to root for this guy.
Absolutely. Isn't the fact that he can do that in this country what this country is all about?
Absolutely not.
What
Get
are
up
you
and show
talking
some
about?
respect there, Jose.
It's the mere freedom of speech
You're
factor that
not
allows
mowing
him
the
to
grass
do that.
out there, trying to walk around with a mitt, okay?
You're not stocking the shelves in some bodega.
Yeah.
You kiss the ground and you're walking on, you jackass.
You dirtbag.
I believe he and I share
great.
the same American ideals that every great American should.
Bernard McGurk, lay it down the law.
Show your loved one just how much he or she means.
Wyatt wants to go, though.
Yeah. The two of you should just look in the mirror. Wait a second, let me put my FedEx hat on. It's more effective that way.
I tell you what.
You want to go see the Odd Couple, Mr. Marr? waste your time. Go in the bathroom and look in the mirror. Jesus, you deluded old dirtbag, you be Jesus.
Hey, McCord!
All right, McCord.
Boy, you're Raymond.